All right, let's get right into this. We're going to talk about the radical, incredibly simple, and honestly pretty profound philosophy of a 103-year-old woman named Mabel Rose Thompson. And her take on health? Well, it pretty much flies in the face of everything we've ever been told. And believe me, she is not messing around. With an opening line like that, Mabel just throws down the gauntlet. This is not your typical run-of-the-mill health advice. Nope. This is a direct challenge to the entire system, and it's coming from someone with over a century of life experience to back it up. Just take a second and let that number sink in. 103. That's not just a long life. That's an extraordinary life. And it's the bedrock for every single claim she's about to make. So, of course, that leads us all to the one big question, right? What has she been doing that's allowed her to live with so much energy for so long? Well, her answer, it starts with a paradox, a complete clash between what all the experts told her and the life she actually lived. Okay, this is where the story really starts to get good, because it's not just about what Mabel did right. It's about what she thinks all the so-called experts got so incredibly wrong. What's that number, 7? Well, that is how many of her own doctors Mabel has outlived. I'm serious. 7 different medical professionals who, at some point, looked her in the eye and told her she was doing it all wrong. And here's a perfect example of what she means. She can still picture Dr. Patterson, clear as day, back in 1985, wagging his finger at her about cholesterol and her eggs, making her feel like a little kid. But you know what? She trusted her own body more than she trusted his charts. And check this out. This really says it all. The very doctor who warned her about her diet, he died 30 years ago, at age 71, from a stroke. And Mabel, she's 103 years old, and you better believe she is still eating her eggs. So, what is this diet that completely defied her doctors? It's almost shockingly simple. For more than 40 years, she has eaten the exact same 4 foods, every single day. So food number 1, whole eggs fried in real butter, not that egg white in a carton stuff. Mabel's logic is just plain common sense. The yolk has everything a new chick needs to grow into a chicken. It's life itself. To her, throwing away the yolk is like buying a brand new car and immediately tossing out the engine. It just makes no sense. Food number 2, a pound of ground beef. Yeah, I know, the warnings about red meat are everywhere. But Mabel sees it totally differently. She says, what are our bodies made of? Muscle, blood, brain. That's iron, B12, and zinc. To her, it's not some kind of risk. It's the literal raw material you need to build a strong human. And her third food, 6 small red potatoes, boiled with the skins on. While everyone today seems terrified of carbs, Mabel just sees pure historical fuel. It's the stuff that kept soldiers marching and got our ancestors through hard times. It's simple, honest energy straight from the earth. And last, her most controversial pick, raw milk straight from a cow. The government warns us it's dangerous, that it has bacteria. Mabel's response? Our bodies need bacteria. She believes that pasteurization kills the milk, destroying all the amazing enzymes and probiotics that make it a truly living whole food. But Mabel's whole philosophy, it's about more than just these 4 foods. It's actually a full-blown critique of our entire modern food system. She believes we've been fighting the wrong enemy all along. Think about it. We're always told that variety is the key to being healthy. But Mabel thinks that's a lie, one designed to get us to buy more stuff. The real problem, she says, isn't that we lack variety. It's that we've replaced actual real food with these processed food-like products. And she has a timeline for how this all went so wrong. Back in the 50s, scientists declared war on fat. So what did we do? We took out real, natural fats like butter and eggs and replaced them with sugar, vegetable oils, and a bunch of processed junk. And the result? An absolute explosion of the very diseases they were supposed to be preventing. But hold on. Just when you think you've got her all figured out, that it's all about the diet, Mabel hits you with a pivot. Because according to her, the food, well, that's only half the battle. And that line just completely changes the game, doesn't it? She tells this story about a man who ate a perfect diet, but was just consumed by bitterness his whole life. He died at 68. All that clean eating couldn't save him from what she calls a rotten spirit. So what keeps your spirit healthy? She breaks it down into 4 pillars. Number 1 is purpose. You have to have a reason to get out of bed in the morning. 2 is people, real face-to-face human connection, not just a bunch of followers online. 3 is peace, forgiving people, not for them, but for you, so you can put that baggage down. And number 4 is laughter. You have to find joy, even when things hurt.
And that brings us to Mabel's final, and maybe her most urgent piece of wisdom. It's a warning, really, and it's wrapped up in a simple, kind of heartbreaking story.
She talks about her friend Betty, who worked her entire life, always planning for retirement. It was always someday I'll move to the coast, or someday I'll open that bakery. But Betty died at 62, just 2 years before she was set to retire. Her someday never, ever came. And that's the whole point, isn't it? The message could not be any clearer. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect time or the perfect weight or the perfect amount of money in the bank. The time to actually live your life is right now.
And looking back from her vantage point at 103 years old, her lessons are so profound. She wishes she'd spent less time chasing money and more time chasing moments. She wishes she told people she loved them sooner. And she wishes she'd let go of grudges faster. Because, as she puts it, hate is a poison you drink hoping the other person will die.
So that brings us right back where we started. After all this, her diet, her philosophy, her life lessons, what is the actual secret to a long life? And there you have it. According to Mabel, we're all out here looking for some complicated life hack, but the answer has been brutally simple all along. Real food for your body, real love for your heart, and real presence for your soul. Just a simple, powerful, and totally unforgettable message from a woman who has truly lived.